What's up, everyone? Welcome back to 1894. I'm Dara. I've Joe here today, and we've just battered the red shirt. We've just absolutely battered them. I want to talk about it. Let's go straight into it. Joe, what do you think about it?
They were so bad. They belong on Thursdays, which I'm sure they will be there next season. Arsenal, we've done you a solid there. Sure, Arteta will appreciate Pep very much. It was easy. It was a walk in the park. There was the start of 15 minutes. We had 92%. It was bad. It was bad. League double over United. Haven't done that in ages. It feels so good. And, you know, I said that this is probably the toughest game we had left this season. I would like to firmly take that back because they were pants. They were crap.
They were absolutely shocking. At the time you said it, we were coming off a couple of bad performances. But I mean, today you're going to see in the player ratings, everyone's a minimum 8. Everyone's a minimum 8. Like, it was a disgracefully good performance. It is some of the best stuff I've seen us play in ages, in so long. And I think, you know what, right? We have to pull the agenda back for a while. Kevin De Bruyne, take a fucking bow. You were unplayable. He was unfucking playable. Need that every week from him. He got hooked about 15 to go. He was outstanding today. He tore them apart. He was in perfect positions. I think we made a comment on it on the stream. He wasn't in the same row. He was dropping more inside. He was sitting in the poacher's area, whereas Bernardo was taking out the flanks, and that's what made it so good. I didn't see one fucked up cross on De Bruyne today. That is how we have to play. That's how we have to play because it was fan-fucking-tastic. It was unbelievable. I'm so lost for words about him. He turned it completely around. If he can play even the half of that ability for the rest of the season, we'll win everything because he was outstanding. His performances like that made us think he is the best in the world. What did you think of him?
You didn't see a misplaced cross because the only times he crossed it was when he had a corner or a wide free kick, because that's when he should be crossing the ball. He shouldn't be launching them from 30 yards, and he didn't today. It was like Chelsea at home. He did the same thing there. He kept it simple. He didn't just crosses in left, right and centre. Man of the match by... It's not even a long way because everyone was so good, but he still was our man of the match. I think everyone's man of the match. Sky man of the match. Just unanimous, really. I mean, God, he needs this type of performance regularly now to rectify what he's done wrong. I'm a little hesitant to say he's back because people were saying he was back after Leeds and wasn't back. He just wasn't. Hopefully he is, but I mean, what more can you say? 2 goals, an assist. The assist, by the way, what peach from Mahrez from that corner. Unbelievable. I don't know why they left Mahrez on his own outside the box 3 times. I don't know what the game plan was, and no one picked him up at all. He's so much better closer to the box, man. He doesn't need to be that far back in a crossing position. He needs to be closer to the box where he can, pick a pass, find the final ball, or just take a long shot because he can score from range. And he found himself in the box to score a couple of goals. And listen, we've been on him for what feels like months now.
It is months. That sounds like it's been months.
It's been months because it's been so inconsistent and so annoying to regularly see us be proven right. I wanted to be proven wrong for the longest time because I didn't want to be right about him not playing well. And he's done it. And, fair play to him. I'll criticise him when he does bad, but I will also praise him when he does well. And today he was unbelievable.
Yeah, there's not more you can say about him. He's just that good. I think it speaks for the team performance as we're actually deliberating it wasn't really a deliberation about who gets man of the match, but the fact that we're looking to say, well, realistically, he can get man of the match, he can get the match. One of those, he didn't get the same rating as De Bruyne, but I thought his impact today I think his fingerprints all over. Grealish was fantastic day. I think before we go into the ratings to talk about him, give him a little brief one. I think he was set up so well. Obviously, like Joe said, they brought Wan-Bissaka in out of nowhere. They brought him in to try and deal with Sterling. Sterling didn't even get a look in. They had no idea what to do with Grealish because they were so prepared for Sterling to be there. And Grealish brought something else. I think he looked a lot better when he came in because Bernardo was going out wide. Fucking Foden was dropping out wide. He had so much more coverage there. And I think him playing that type of role could be his future here. He could drop into midfield. He could go through the middle. He can do anything. He was so good today. He was outstanding. So before we go on the power range show, give us a little talk about him.
I think we do have to talk about our left-hand side, considering that is where most of our attacks actually came from. We didn't go down the right at all in the first half, really. Mahrez barely got a touch. Don't understand it, but I guess it worked. He scored 2 goals. So, you know, who am I to say anything about that? But I think it speaks volumes as well that Cancelo was the standout defender in the ratings as well, and he played down that left-hand side. Ralph Rangnick brought in Wan-Bissaka to try and deal with our threat down the left because, I mean, I think most of us kind of came to the decision that Sterling was pretty much undroppable and that he probably was going to play this game. He didn't. I wasn't against it because I know how bad his record is against United. Grealish played. Yep. He did exceptionally well. I know he didn't get a goal or an assist, but again, if you're getting that higher rating without a goal or an assist, it must mean you've played really, really well, which he did. He dropped into midfield to pick up the ball. He ran at Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka had an awful time down that side, by the way. He was awful.
There were 3 men on that side at every one time. I think they've looked at like, oh, they're going to start Grealish. Or say they're going to start, we've looked at, they're going to start Dalot. We're going to destroy him. It doesn't matter who it was. You could put Trent down there, you could put Walker down there. You're getting absolutely fisted.
Like they set up that way, and like you said, there was 3 players. It was any 3 from the selection of Elanga, Lingard when he came on, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof was playing that side of centre half. You had Fernandes tracking back either side. He barely got a kick all game. He had to do more defend. All of them United players had to do more defending and attacking, even the forward players. So again, we pinned them back. Cancelo constantly on the up. Bernardo Silva as well. And that left-hand triangle was immense. I can see why he used it so much because it worked. It worked so much. Like, honestly, Grealish, again, he had that game against Peterborough, albeit Peterborough, who played better than United, funnily enough, bottom of the championship. But he scored against them. He's clearly got a bit of confidence about him now to play well after that Peterborough game because he took it into this game. And again, he could have had an assist. Gundogan kind of miskicked it a little bit. Could have been 5. Should have been 6 again, realistically. But I mean, God, Jesus Christ, I'm lost for words because I never expected it to be 4.
What can you say? It didn't look like it was going to be 4 for a while, but then VAR came to the rescue. No idea how they managed to find it to be onside. I think it's really funny because, like, you saw Lukaku's get rolled out for something very similar. You actually saw Mahrez one get counted for something similar yesterday, so maybe they've just kind of changed it. But the finish, like the 2 finishes from Mahrez were unreal. Like the Bruyne's 2 were very, you pounce on it, you're a poacher, you just kind of get there when needs be, and he was in that position. It was fantastic. But the 2 Mahrez finishes, oh my God, like it was fantastic, outrageous. But I will say, this performance should be as good a sign as any to people to say, striker's not the problem. They were all creative midfielders there, and they all played that part. They were fantastic. We're going to put the ratings up now. We'll stop. We won't tiptoe around anymore. Edison gets a 9. You might be thinking, what's he getting a 9 for? His distribution was fantastic. So much started from just him finding the right pass, be out left, right, in the midfield. The pass, obviously, United had a big gap in the midfield. We noticed it with De Bruyne a few times that he was getting the space. Edison found everyone. Everyone gets a 9. It's outstanding. Cancelo gets a 9 as well for the bicycle kick alone. The rest of them get 8. I'm not going to go too in depth. I thought everyone there was just fantastic.
You can't go too in depth because United failed to have a shot in the second half, I'm pretty sure. I can't remember one anyway. They had a 0 XG, so that tells you they did fail to have a shot. And they all came in the first half because they had a 0 XG in the second half. So there's not really much you can say about the defence. Like, they get 8s by default, but the fact they had nothing to do apart from pass the ball around the back because their press wasn't anything too extraordinary. Like, they started off well. Kind of didn't carry on throughout the game. Cancelo was the best going forward, as you'd expect. Linked up really well with Bernardo and Grealish on that left-hand side. Again, gets the 9 for the bicycle kick attempt, which almost went in somehow. And Ederson is the outlier because normally his distribution goes unnoticed because it's normally so good. But today it was like, is he going to displace a pass? Is he actually going to miss? Is he actually going to fail to pick someone out? He always managed to pick someone. There was one where he put it out for a throw-in, but we came to the conclusion that was a clearance because the ball came back to him and he just smashed it. So, again, like, he's the best at what he does. While there are better shot stoppers at doing what he does with playing with the ball, he is the best in the world at the moment.
Easy. Easily, absolutely fucking easy. The midfield again, outstanding. The only reason we gave Rodri a 9 is because of how the goal happened, how he wasn't really covering properly, got caught in no man's land. He gets a 9. The other two get 10s. Like I said, fantastic. Bernardo's work rate was fantastic. I think the fourth goal came from him winning the ball back. Like everything ran through him. It's strange. I could say everyone ran through him. You could almost say everyone ran through everybody. That's how involved everyone was and how much everyone wanted it. But like without Bernardo, I mean, you may as well give United a 1-goal start. That's how he's just everywhere. Playing without him in this position, as you saw with Everton, as you saw with Tottenham, is a handicap against City. Like City aren't winning without him in that midfield. As simple as. Then across the board, we've already talked about him. Do you want to add out and probably go into the front three?
God, Jesus Christ. I mean, you win your midfield battle, you win the game, and my God, did we win it. We won it back so many times in that midfield. I mean, Fred and McTominay, we know they're not the most gifted. They're practically one player, but oh my God, it was so easy. There was so much space to run into. Had all the time in the world to pick a pass. Their best midfielder was stuck up front in a false 9 role. He barely got a kick in the game. Pogba was stuck there as well at a false 9. So it was all over the place defensively for them, and they couldn't get near. And again, Bernardo going out into the left channel, supplying a bit of width with his, being the only left-footed player down there. So there's not much else you can really say. I think Rodri is not to blame for the goal. No one is to blame for the goal. No. It's a collective of things being like an inch either side. Like on a different day, Stones is an inch to, I think it was his left, and he blocks the shot. He gets in the way of it. So look, at the end of the day, they countered. They set up to counter. Obviously, Ronaldo helps that. If they had Ronaldo, it would have been 6 and they wouldn't have scored. But I mean, their game plan worked, but not worked well enough because they didn't defend well at all. I mean, shout out Tellers for the assist to De Bruyne.
Yeah, you can't set up to defend in a system. You can't set up in a defensive system when your defence includes Harry Maguire. Then the front three all get 9s. I think Mahrez, the only reason he gave him a 9 is because he was so quiet in that first half and he wasn't really tracking back. That changed completely in the second half. He got back so much in the second half. Foden was outstanding. We've already talked about Grealish, but I want to talk about I thought Foden was instrumental in a lot of it. He not only was it for the second goal, obviously he took over Lindelof, which is fantastic, but the way he was dropping into those channels, same way with Grealish, he was attracting either one of McFred or the centre half to drop in with him. And you're leaving everything completely open, which is how we got in behind so much. I think it'll go so unnoticed, but it was like what Kane did to us, only with a smaller, more nimble player that's opening up a lot worse of a defence. He was the key to a lot of it, wasn't he?
Yeah, and he should have won a penalty. I think we've kind of missed that one out there, but it's coming to my mind when speaking about him that I don't know how the referee came to the conclusion it's a free kick the other way. But I guess we moved. He had a shocker there, but we still won the game 4-1 because of how good we were. But he was everywhere. He was absolutely everywhere. They didn't know what to do. I said at the start of the game on the watch along that it's something we needed to be careful of ourselves. We didn't deal with it against Spurs with Kane, with him dropping deep. We didn't deal with it well. We didn't have to deal with it today because they didn't get the ball, but they didn't deal with it well themselves. Because, I mean, Jesus Christ, I know we criticise Maguire whenever we see him, on and off videos because he's not that great. But oh my goodness. He got booked. He sliced De Bruyne on the counter. I don't know how he wasn't booked before that. They were all over the place defensively. He was a walk in the park for our attacking players. Mahrez's 2 goals were the standout goals. They were the best goals that we scored in the game. And yeah, again, he only gets a 9 because of how little he got of the ball in the first half. I don't think it was down to him. We went down the left most of the time. Not his fault he doesn't get the ball if we don't go down his side, but he got himself involved in the second half, did better defensively. I think that's something that Pep probably said to him. There was a little break in play and he had a go at about 5 players. I think that's something he probably mentioned to him there about trekking back and helping defensively, which Grealish did. Grealish did exceptionally well defensively today. I think we need to not skate over that. The whole team as a collective, both attacking and defending, tracking back, everything was superb. And I don't know what went wrong with us in the last few games for playing so poorly to just come out like this, but I hope we continue to play like this because we're going to need it. We have like a really tough run coming up.
Yeah, we've been talking to everyone. We're saying that that Tottenham game where we lost, it could still be a huge kick in the arse, and it seems like that we're really starting to wake up. Everton as well, we got let off. Let's not take the piss here. We got completely let off in the Everton game. We seem to be back playing good football. If, like, I mean, we played like that against anyone in Europe, we're beating them, Liverpool included. So don't worry about the league. Don't worry about it just yet. We're still clear. We're still clear with them, and we have to play them again, which we should win if we're judging off that. But that'll be that. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. We'll be back for sporting. And yeah, like it, share it, subscribe, comment, all that kind of shit. Nice one.